Alright fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, the man with the most biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And in this little teaser review, whatever you want to call it, we're going to be talking about the whole Batman and Superman thing. Now, I went into this, expecting because I figured all the big comic book movies, they were going to all have their own little, typical trailers and stuff that they drop, because, that's kind of sort of what companies do during the Super Bowl. They pay millions of dollars to have their little commercial drop in there and, to promote their upcoming stuff. But unlike with Marvel and the Civil War and their movies, DC, for whatever reason, well, WB, not DC, I'm sorry. They just did a straight up advertisement for Turkish Airlines. I don't see why they, promoted their movie out like this. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them for doing it. If they had a promotional deal with them, then cool. That's perfectly fine. However, this was something I was expecting to see on television. Like in between, TV shows, like an actual commercial, not during the Super Bowl. You don't put this on during the Super Bowl. So it was kind of weird, I'm hoping they didn't play this during the Super Bowl, but I know once all the trailers, released from the Super Bowl, people was putting them up online. So I assume that they did play this during the Super Bowl. I don't watch the game myself, so I have no way of knowing, that or not. So hopefully I'm not talking out of my ass, but if they did play this on the Super Bowl, I would definitely have a few questions for them. Like, one, how come you don't have enough faith in your movie to actually just jump out there with a trailer for the Super Bowl specifically? That's number one. And two, why wouldn't they just come out with something, because Marvel's dropping something, right? Why don't you just come out with something and just wow the people, get all the popular opinion on your side, do it like a political debate, what I'm saying? You let Marvel go first and then you smash them with your trailer. That's what I think that they should have did, but I'm not the one making the movies, because apparently, they think they know what they're doing. But anyway, basically you got two different commercials. You basically got Bruce Wayne talking about, fly to Gotham. It's pretty cool. We're rising up from our past, things like that. And then you had Lex Luthor talking about Metropolis and flying to Metropolis and why it's, bigger and better and all that kind of sort of stuff. And they were cool. For being regular commercials, they were actually pretty done. They were actually pretty good. I'm not gonna say they were complete shit. No, they were actually pretty decent. I like the Bruce Wayne one better, because he seemed to be more in character. Like, Ben Affleck was really working that Bruce Wayne. Whereas I still can't get behind, I forget what the guy's name is, but the guy playing Lex Luthor, I'm sorry, he just, to me, looks like a kid. He really does. Like, I wish they would have got a grown man to play Lex Luthor, or at least somebody who looks like one, because it's just bugging me out every time I see him. Number one, with the hair, and the hair is not really a big stickler, because I know Lex Luthor had hair in the comic books before he went bald, so, but he doesn't look anything like any version of Lex Luthor that I can recall or remember. And I'm going all the way back to the early 80s, the late 70s. So maybe they're picking a version of Lex Luthor like when he first came about way back when, like going back 60, 70 years. But I doubt it. I mean, he's supposed to be the same age as Batman and Superman. But yet he doesn't look like him in any way, shape, or form. But let me jump off of that, because I got to talk about that for the next 45 minutes. So I'm gonna try to keep this video close to 5 minutes. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I wish they would have shown something a little bit more. And one ways that I think that they could have made this better is, let's say, in the Gotham one, they could have taken the commercial and, let's say, showing people leaving the airport or coming to the airport, and then, let's say, have them being robbed at gunpoint or something, right? And maybe not at gunpoint because this is still a commercial, but you can show them being mugged. Or let's say this threatening guy could walk up on them or something, and then you could have like, or I do you one better. You could show two people walking to the airport, right? Not leaving, but going to the airport to get on Turkish Airlines and all that stuff. And you could have this guy following them. Now for, let's say, like 3 or 4 different shots, you show this guy watching them, waiting for him to turn corners and stuff. And then just before, he's about to jump on him and mug him, you could have him get pulled in the alley. Now we all know Batman's the one who yanked him up in that alley, but the people who are walking, they have like no idea that they were, protected by Batman. That's one way you could have made the commercial at least better. And in the Metropolis one, because I think they even alluded to, they had a one line in it where they was like, you may even catch a glimpse of, the city's savior or whatever. Granted, one thing that they could have did was maybe not necessarily show Turkish Airlines because it kind of sort of defeats the whole purpose of a commercial. But let's say you can have people in the plane landing, at an airport, right? And let's say, because Superman's always known to save planes that fall out of the sky, and you could show Superman like a plane's engine went bad, not the Turkish Airlines one, because then then that'd be like bad press for a commercial. But you could have another plane. It's like they were taxiing in the airport. You could show Superman helping another plane to actually land at the airport because their engine was on fire or something, and then fly away. Just to kind of put you in the movie verse a little bit more rather than just a straight up commercial, But I think if they'd have did that, that would have had a little bit more impact than just, fly on this airlines, come to our city, But maybe that's not what they were looking for. Maybe they wanted a straight up commercial. But again, I don't know why they played it during the Super Bowl spot. But anyway, but that's just been my thoughts on it. I know I plan to do the other movies too. I know Deadpool had a spot, but I'm probably not going to do his because I know I'm going to do a video about that once that actually drops this weekend. That's going to get its own little probably half-hour review of that. And I'm trying to think, what else came out? Oh yeah, I might also do the Ninja Turtles one too. I haven't made my decision on that yet, but I'm a huge Turtles fan from back in the day. And I hear they got Krang in it, so I'm probably gonna, talk about it. I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna talk about it, but anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this short video. Please be on the lookout for more. My name is Denonu, the man with the most biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.